Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Ali and let's talk about finance. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the different sources of income in retirement. This is very different than when you're working, because when you're working, you usually have maybe one, maybe two different sources of income. But in retirement, you're going to have multiple sources of income, and it's very complex to actually understand where all that's coming from, especially if you're not used to having that many sources of income. So let's get started. The very first source of income that most people are going to receive, anybody who is working will receive a certain amount from the Canada Pension Plan. Now, the Canada Pension Plan, there's always an amount that was deducted off of your paycheck to go directly into the Canada Pension Plan. Now, what everybody receives is going to be different, and that's dependent on how much money that you actually contributed into the Canada Pension Plan. Now, keep in mind that everybody who is eligible to receive the Canada Pension Plan will start to receive it at the age of 65. However, there are ways for you to receive the Canada Pension Plan sooner, so as early as age 60. However, there is a decrease in the amount that you receive. So in this case, there would be a decrease of 0.6% per month. That's 7.2% per year. So just keep that in mind. And there is also a break-even point when it comes to taking it out versus waiting until the age of 65. And that break-even point is actually the age of 74. If you decide to take out your CPP early at the age of 60 versus 65, you'll actually end up getting ahead up until the age of 74. But then once you reach 74, then you'll actually end up receiving less money long-term than if you were to have waited until the age of 65. Now, there is a way to defer your Canada Pension Plan until as late as age 70. If you were to do this, then there would be a 0.7% increase per month, and that would be up to 8.4% per year if you were to defer until the age of 70. There is also a break-even point for taking money out at the age of 65 versus deferring it until the age of 70, and that's usually around the age of 81 years old. So at age 81, if you ended up deferring the Canada Pension Plan payments until age 70, then by age 81, then you would have received the exact same amount of money as if you have taken it out at age 65, and any amount that you receive after the age of 81 will actually be more money in your pocket. Now, keep in mind, the Canada Pension Plan, it is a pension, so any pension income is taxable income, so you have to make sure that you understand that this money that you're receiving is actually taxable income. Now, another source of income that most Canadians will be eligible for is old age security. Old age security is essentially a payment that you receive as a congratulations for reaching the age of 65. Anybody who was a resident of Canada for at least 10 years between the ages of 18 and 65 will be eligible to receive the old age security. In order for you to receive the maximum old age security, you would have to be a resident of Canada for 40 years between the ages of 18 and 65 in order for you to receive the maximum. Now, you can't receive old age security early like the Canada Pension Plan. However, you can defer the old age security until as late as age 70. If you decide to do that, you would get a 0.6% increase per month for every month that you defer past the age of 65, up to a maximum of 7.2% per year. Also keep in mind that the amount that you receive will be dependent on the number of years that you've been a resident of Canada. So for example, let's say you're a resident of Canada for 23 years between the ages of 18 and 65. In order to calculate how much you will receive, you just have to do 23 divided by 40 and multiply it by the maximum allowable old age security payment. That is the amount that you will receive. Now, keep in mind that old age security is also a taxable income, so this is something that you're going to have to claim on your taxes. Another few sources of income in retirement will be a pension plan. So for example, if you worked for a company that had a defined benefit pension plan, then they will tell you exactly how much you're going to receive on a monthly basis. Another source of income is a registered retirement savings plan. So with a registered retirement savings plan, when you go to retire, you can actually turn that into an income stream for yourself. So you would actually just convert the registered retirement savings plan, or the RRSP, into a RRIF. A RRIF is a registered retirement income fund. And from there, you can start drawing regular payments, whether it's on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, annual basis. It really doesn't matter. It's really up to you in terms of how you want to receive that. And you can start drawing an income from that. Now, keep in mind that money that went into the RRSP was tax deducted. So that means that any money that comes out of the RRSP is taxable income. There's a couple things to keep in mind when it comes to the RRSP, as well as a defined contribution pension plan. So a defined contribution pension plan, that money has to stay locked in. There are some provisions where you could unlock it, and it depends on which province you live in, and it also depends on which province the pension plan was set up in. So what this means is for any money that was locked in, there is a minimum amount of money that you have to take out on an annual basis, and that is set by the government, and there's a percentage based on your age in a given year, the amount of money that you can take out on an annual basis basis will be that percentage based on the balance of your investments at the beginning of the year. With locked-in funds, however, though, there's also a maximum amount of money that you can take out. And again, that is set by the government. This is to make sure that you don't outlive your money. And again, it's a percentage based on your age in a given year, and it would be that percentage on the total account balance at the beginning of the year. Now, with the registered retirement savings plan, same situation. When you go to convert it into a RRIF, there is a minimum amount of money that you have to take out on an annual basis. The one difference though is there is no maximum restriction. So if you wanted to take out as much money as you wanted out of your RRIF, then you can definitely do that. There are no restrictions with regards to how much money you can take out. Now, one thing to keep in mind with regards to defined contribution pension plans and registered retirement savings plans is with this, you can actually defer converting it into an income stream for yourself until as late as the year you turn 71 years old. Now, the reason for this is because at the end of the day, the government wants to receive their taxes, they want to receive their money. So they want to make sure that you are starting to pull out some of the money out of those sources, so then you can start paying taxes for that money that's sitting there. Keeping this in mind though, that means that if you don't actually need the money before the age of 71 years old, you can just leave it invested. You don't have to actually touch that money. You could continue letting it grow. So say for example, you have other sources of income. Say for example, you're still working part-time. A lot of people, they tend to get bored in retirement, and they might pick up a part-time job here or there, and that can help supplement their retirement income. Maybe they don't need that much. You don't have to actually convert it, like I said, until the end of the year that you turn 71 years old. Now, the very last source of income that you could potentially have in retirement is your tax-free savings account. If used properly, the tax-free savings account, in my opinion, is actually the best account that you can actually have by saving into a tax-free savings account. Now, by the way, you can actually invest in the tax-free savings account. The same investments that are available in an RRSP will also be available for the tax-free savings account, the TFSA. Now, the reason that I say that this is the best source of income is because any money that you take out and any growth that you have inside the tax-free savings account is tax-free. So that means this is money that you can pull out of your tax-free savings account in retirement, and you don't have to claim it for income tax purposes. So this is actually the best way to help reduce your taxable income in retirement, and that's only possible if you've built up your tax-free savings account. Now, of course, there are limitations to how much you could contribute, and you have to take a look and see what your available contribution space is. However, if you maximize the tax-free savings account, this can actually be a great way to help supplement your retirement income without having to raise your taxable income and pay more taxes. Now, this is especially important because in retirement, there's something called income splitting. For anybody who has pensionable earnings, so anybody who has a pension or anybody who has a registered retirement savings plan, when you go to file your taxes, if you're married, if you have a spouse, if you have a common law partner, you can actually income split with them as long as you meet all of the criteria. And if you do that, that means that you can reduce the amount of taxable income on paper. As well, you can take advantage of having more money by pulling money out of the tax-free savings account. So it really is a win-win with regards to the tax-free savings account. And personally, I think it's the best retirement account. Nobody ever really talks about the tax-free savings account as a retirement vehicle. So there you have it, guys. Those are all of the different sources of income. Now, of course, everybody's situation is slightly different, so there may be some additional sources of income. Say, for example, you had a business. If you have rental properties, that can also be another source of income for you. But in general, those are the sources of income that you will have in retirement. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like down below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer those questions for you. Also, if you found this video helpful, share it with your friends and family. Also, if there's any specific topics that you'd like me to talk about, please leave those in the comments down below, and I'll make sure I make a video about that topic in the future. As always, guys, stay safe, take care, and we'll see you guys in the next one.